Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is the continuation of our previous tutorial where we have discussed what are the Python arrays, how to import them, how to create an array, how to access the elements from the array with some simple examples. So in this tutorial we are going to see how to add elements in array, how to remove them, and how to update an array with some simple examples. So without further ado, let's get into it. So as we have discussed in our previous lecture, arrays in Python can be created by importing the array module, which is used to create an array with the data type and the value list specified to its arguments. So in this topic we are going to see how to add elements in an array. So elements can be added to an array by using the built-in function, which is the insert function. Insert is used for inserting one or more data elements into the array. So based upon the requirements, a new element will be added at the beginning, end, or any given index of an array. Append function is used to add the value mentioned in its arguments at the end of the array. So in this example, we are creating one array which is stored in the variable a, having the 3 integer values. And we are using the insert function to insert the 4 value into the first index, as you can see here. Let me show you with some simple example. So this is a Python command line, and for this we will create one array. So for creating we will import the array module first. So import array as arr. So we have imported the array module. Now we will create one array. So for this we will create one variable in which we will store our array, arr.array. Just follow the same procedure that we have discussed in the previous lecture. So now we will give the type code. So in this case we will insert the integer values. So for integer values we can use the type code as I. So give comma and in square bracket, as similar to the list, just give the integer elements that you need to insert. So for this we will give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as you can see, 5 integer elements are present in our array. Just hit enter. As you can see, the array has been created. So now we will print our array before the insertion. So for this just use the for loop for I in and the array name, which is a, give the colon. After hitting enter, just don't forget to give the indentation, otherwise it will throw an error. And we will print our array, print I. After hitting enter, as you can see, our array has 5 integer elements. So for adding the elements in array, we need to use the insert function. So for this, just give array name, which is a dot insert function. Just type insert, and in round brackets we need to give the index and the value that we need to insert in our array. So let's consider we will insert 7 integer value in the second index. So give the index, which is second, comma, and give the value that you have to add. So in this case we will give 7, hit enter. As you can see, the 7 integer value has been added to the second index of an array. So for validating, just use the print function again. So for I in a, give the indentation and print the value. As you can see, the 7 value has been added to our second index number. Similarly, we can use the append function instead of insert function to insert the values at the end of an array. So for this, we will insert one value using the append function. So for this, just give like a dot append function, and in round brackets give the value that you need to append. So for this we will give 10. As you can see, the value has been inserted into our array. So to validate this, again use the for loop and print function. So for I in a, give the indentation, print I. As you can see, the 10 value has been added at the end of an array. Our next topic is how to remove the elements from an array. So the elements can be removed from array using the built-in function, which is a remove function. But the condition is we have to give the value which is already present in the array, otherwise it will throw an error. So the remove method only removes one element at a time. To remove the range of elements, iterator is used. Also, pop function is used to remove and return an element from an array, but by default it removes only the last element of an array. So to remove the element from specific position, index of element is passed to the pop method. Let me show you with some example. So for this example, we will create one array having the 6 integer elements and we have repeated 1. So after hitting enter, the array has been created. So in this example, we are going to remove the specific value from an array. So in this case, we will remove one value by using the remove function. But you have to understand that the remove function only removes the first occurrence of an element. So in this case, one value is present twice in this array, but it will only remove the first occurrence of an element which has the index 0. Let me show you how. So for this, we have to use the remove function. So just give like a, which is a array name dot remove function, and in round brackets you have to give the element that you need to remove. So in this case, we will give like 1. As you can see, the one integer has been removed from an array. To validate this, just use the print function. To do that, we will give like for I in a, give the indentation, print I. As you can see, the first occurrence of a one value has been removed from an array. Similarly, we can use the pop function to remove the element from specific position of an array. We just have to pass the index value to an argument. So for this, let's consider we have to remove 3 integer value from an array. So for removing that, use the pop method. So just give like a dot pop, and in the round brackets give the index of a value. So the index will be 1. After hitting enter, the 3 has been removed from an array. To validate this, just use print command. As you can see, the 3 value has been removed from an array. But let's consider if we don't pass any value in the pop function, it will eliminate the last element of an array. So for this, just give like pop, but in this case we will not pass any arguments. After hitting enter, as you can see, the last element, which is 5, is removed from an array. To validate this, just use print command again. As you can see, the last element has been removed. Our last topic is how to update an elements in array. So for updating elements of an array, we just simply have to reassign a new value to the desired index we want to update. So it is very simple process. So in this case, we have one array named a, which has 6 integer elements. We have replaced the second index, which is a 3, with a value 6. Let me show you with some example. So let's consider we have an array named a, which has 6 integer elements. So for updating an element, we just have to reassign a new value to the desired index. So to do that, let's consider we have to update the one value and we will replace it by 10. So the index of the one value is 3. To do that, just use like give the array name, which is a, use the square brackets to give the index. The index will be 4 equal to, and the new value that we have to update. So the new value in this case will be 10. Hit enter. As you can see, our array has been updated. To validate this, just use the print function. For I in a, indentation, print I. As you can see, the 4th index has been updated by the 10 integer value. So in this lecture, we have discussed how to add an element in array, how to remove them, and how to update an array with some simple examples. So I hope you like my video. So please subscribe to my channel and also ring the notification bell to get the latest updates.